All right. Oh, guys, I'm so excited to talk about this. I know both of you are gonna hate this. I don't care though. Because other people need to know about
No,
this
no,
movie.
no.
I don't.
We
I shouldn't say
accept
I don't
all of
care.
it.
I shouldn't say I don't care. But other people, horror people, listen to me, please. We just got Long Legs, which I thought was spectacular. And then 1 week later, I went into this movie knowing literally nothing about it. I had seen the poster, and I'd love to do that whenever possible. And being online as much as like we are, and it just sometimes it's just kind of impossible to avoid things. But I happened to get off early last Friday. The poster looked cool enough, um, and I went to see a movie called Oddity. And I'm checking my phone here because I want to make sure I get everybody's name correct. Director Damian McCarthy, stars Gwylan Lee, Carolyn Bracken, and Todd Murphy. And like I said, I didn't know anything about this going in. And what
I'd never heard of
happened
this
during
when
this?
you were
Yeah,
talking
I
about
had
it.
not
I'd never
either.
heard of this movie at all.
I was honestly surprised. And the last time I went in to see a movie that I knew literally nothing about and I had only seen the poster was Tarot. And that movie fucking was awful. That made me want to die. So you win some, you lose some going in completely blind. But this was an absolute win for me. I'm gonna tread lightly here. I don't want to spoil anything because I just don't think it's on the radar enough for people, even though it's been out for going on a week now. I just don't think enough people know about it. And it's the kind of thing that I can't recommend you go into as blindly as possible enough. And
Okay.
it's a supernatural murder mystery. And if that sounds interesting to you, which had I even just known that, it would have been like, yes, okay, I'm sold. Like, I'm going to go see Oddity just based on that. But this movie absolutely blew my mind. As the movie opens, you realize that this is a Shudder movie. So Shudder is a horror streaming service for those who don't know. So I would imagine it will be coming home for viewing pretty shortly. And this doesn't appear to be nearly as large of a movie as something like Late Night with the Devil, which also was a Shudder film.
Okay.
And I think that one enjoyed a little bit like bigger and more box office and probably a longer theater run than this probably will, just due to size, but not quality differences, I would say. But this movie, like I said with Long Legs, like it takes a lot for a movie to, I don't want to say scare, but kind of get under my skin. And in this movie, honestly, I found pretty scary, like almost in parts as or more scary than I found Long Legs, which, like I said, with that was the scariest thing I'd seen since a movie in 2018. There are a couple of sequences here that are so brilliant and so masterful and so perfect that the entire, like, I don't know what makes chills produce on your body or how a filmmaker like taps into something like that, but like the
Poison.
chills, yeah, the chills like all across my whole entire body, like sustained for a minute, are it's just something I personally do not experience very often. And I think people could look at this and say maybe it's not the highest budgeted film, but I think it makes absolute incredible use of what budget it does have. I think a little bit of the acting might come across as a little bit suspect to some, but overall, it's so incredibly compelling and so genuinely thrilling and frightening. And I mean, as it moves along and it does get into this murder mystery aspect of it, it's not super hard to necessarily see where it is going to go. But what's interesting is to see exactly how it plays out to get to where it goes. And it subverts your expectations at almost every opportunity. And after seeing this, I watched and looked at reviews and all that kind of stuff for it, and I realized this filmmaker had a previous movie that also is on Shutter, and I haven't watched it, but I can't wait, called Caveat.
Caveat.
And yeah, it seems a lot of people seem to really, really like this one as well. So it's a one I just honestly can't wait to check out. Like I just thought this was such an incredibly pleasant surprise, and I can't recommend it enough for anyone but Coach because of the supernatural element. But honestly, you might be able to do it. No, you wouldn't. You would hate that. So like it probably would. Yeah, it would probably be a lot. But Brad,
That's
I
awesome.
appreciate the warnings. I really do.
Yeah, but to Brad's criticism too, that sometimes supernatural can feel a little bit like cheap or
I don't know, cheap.
overused. Not
Cheap is
overused,
not
but like,
I don't wanna say cheap because a good supernatural affair, thriller can be amazing.
and this is
Um,
meant to be like, it's
like
meant
John
to be.
Carpenter's The Thing. There's a bit of supernatural because there's monsters and stuff. Ghosts are always scary, but
Right.
they have to be done right.
Yeah, this definitely does it right. It
Awesome.
definitely does it right. Like, again, I'm not going to spoil much about this. There's a lady in the movie though who runs this, like, it's like a curiosities shop. She has like oddities and weird cursed objects and all this kind of stuff. And there's this cursed
Or
object.
monkey's paw.
Yeah, like very stuff like that. And there's this cursed object that comes to play a really, really big role in this movie. And like just the presence of it on screen at times is, it's genuinely like, it's pretty unsettling and frightening. And I
Yeah.
mean, it's just literally like an inanimate object sitting there and shit. But it does things that can potentially make you so uncomfortable that it's like, oh
Okay.
God. I found myself like holding my breath at times. And yeah,
Really?
yeah, it was a absolute delight, and I left with a huge smile on my face. I think I was one of like 3 people in the theater, and
Mhm.
I made a short about it. So again, check out our YouTube, guys. The shorts
Absolutely,
on
check out the
there.
shorts, they're fun.
And yeah, horror people unite and just absolutely
Mhm.
support this movie. Go see it in the theater if you can, and then if not, like I said, Shutter. It's coming really, really soon, guys.